Hey everyone, and welcome back again to another episode of Diverse Brew. This is your host Abdulrahman.
Hi everyone, I'm Ives, your co-host for Diverse Brew. First of all, I would like to thank BBM MediaWorks for this amazing shoot, and Coffee Honey sponsoring our podcast. And Mr.
Good place, good coffee beans.
Good place, yeah. Good coffee beans, yeah.
Yeah. Thanks to you. I would like to thank you for this as well, since we're thanking everyone for your...
And I'd like to thank you as well for being here.
And for making this amazing cup.
Yeah.
Cool. So
Mr. Abdulrahman,
Mr. Ives,
are you ready for your examination without wasting much time?
I was born ready. Bring it on.
So to all our viewers, grab a pen. Some facts about to come.
Let's go. I'm interested.
Let's go. Okay. So first of all, I would ask about, since we're talking about a coffee shop,
Yeah.
where was the first coffee shop ever recorded?
Isn't it obvious? Coffee Honey in Gurney. Of course it is in Gurney. Actually, no, I'm joking. I think it is somewhere close. I would go a little bit to the north. I think the Ottomans, they were big on coffee. The Turks, let me say. I think that's where the first coffee shop was built.
For the first time, you're not being biased. I actually thought we was going to talk about the Arab world and coffee.
It is good. It's good enough that we invented this thing. We discovered it. So,
Yeah.
but I think the Turks took over.
Well done. Kudos to you, man.
Thank you.
Next question.
Yes. Go ahead.
This one might be a bit, tricky.
Let's go.
For most people, actually, this is beneficial, especially for those who went out last night. Does coffee actually get you sober?
I guess not. It gets you more alert, aware, but not sober.
Yeah, so you have your answer, guys.
Drunk alert.
Yeah, drunk alert. So don't drink and drive. Coffee is not the answer. Just stay sober. If you're going to drink, don't drive.
Hit me. One more time.
So, for people who drink coffee with milk, which country is believed to have invented the flat white?
I prefer flat white over coffee latte, but it
Why?
never... But I don't know, the ratio of coffee and milk is...
You think it's perfect?
yeah, I think it's perfect.
Okay. So,
I wouldn't say Arabs. We don't know flat white most of the time. And not British.
I think so, because they have
They put
milk.
they put milk in everything, but not the Italian. The Italians are like...
now, my
Before.
friend, this one also, it shocks me because it's from down under.
For Asia.
No, man. Down under. Australia.
Australia.
Aussie.
What the hell, mate?
Yeah.
To be honest, I'm not fully wrong.
Yeah, you're not.
You know
Either
why?
way.
Either way. Because
Be sensitive.
we know where Australians came from. So
Yeah.
You know what? Let me counterattack you. Since yesterday we attacked each other very much, and you took it like a champ, which actually brings me to today's topic. Anyway, I'll talk about that later. Does adding more ground coffee to the pot make the coffee stronger?
Not really, my friend. So you see what happens with coffee. The more you put coffee in your pot,
Yeah.
the more difficult it becomes to extract.
Cool.
At the end of the day, that will result in a bad cup of coffee because it's under-extracted.
Correct.
So what you have to do is to look for another region with a bolder, what do you call it, note.
Cool.
For example, instead of Ethiopia, you go Colombia or Brazil.
That's
you
nice.
know. So that doesn't really solve the problem by adding more coffee.
Correct.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give you 1 out of 1 for getting this question right. And coming back again to what I was saying right before the questions. A small note: this gentleman and I yesterday we had like a little bit heated. I wouldn't call it discussion because it went a little bit overboard. I would call it argument. But today again we're taking a seat, chit-chatting like it didn't happen, because we put sensitivity and pride aside, and it was more like a fruitful conversation. So thank you so much for putting things aside, Mr.
You know how it is, man. Talking about criticism, or talking about today's topic, sensitivity, how do you define sensitivity, just in your own
To be
words?
honest, I really don't have a definition for sensitivity because it is something I genuinely despise. I always say my friends are not easily sensitive. I want people around me when I feel like I should share my opinion and I am entitled to an opinion, they wouldn't get offended on me because me saying something, me telling you something, I'm not trying to hurt you. It was just an advice or an opinion or anything. But if I don't know, like, are we getting a little bit too soft as a society, or are we now more aware of what's going on? So yeah, I don't have a definition for it. It says it's all sensitivity.
In my own opinion, which I don't think it's still
A definition.
of which I don't think it still matters anymore. Like, you're entitled to your own opinion. Now the world is structured in a way that you have to come to agree to disagree.
Yeah.
Because if you say something extreme about a certain group or about a certain topic, then coming to the concept of being cancelled, by social media, of which you're going to elaborate more on.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, now there is something called cancel culture.
Yeah.
This is something that didn't exist back in the day. I mean, now someone being cancelled is something so easy. And I'm not saying no one should be cancelled. Yes, there are some point of views, there are some wrong things happening in the world. But, for example, imagine a celebrity expressing their political views. I mean, after all, a celebrity can and does things out of the celebrity world, They're human beings, they have opinion, they can share whatever they want to share. Just some random people on the internet, they can just cancel them just because they didn't agree to their opinion. You don't have to agree to everything.
So to some extent now the internet rules
It
people's
does.
opinions.
It does. And it is full of contradiction because you cancel someone for expressing their opinion, and by canceling that person, you are expressing your opinion as well. So where is the freedom of speech at this point?
That's
You see?
makes sense, yeah.
I mean, I always say hate speech is a freedom of speech. Whatever I say, I'm free to say it. So if you tell me this is hate speech, it means you are a little bit too sensitive and you didn't want to hear the things that I said. So don't be sensitive around me, please.
So now, would you say with the internet and all this social media, a lot of things, you can see videos, some of the things are censored, If I decide, for example, I want to watch dark humor, that's my own decision.
That's my taste of humor.
You see? Or maybe if you speak against some groups, gender equality, all these kind of things.
Woke nation.
You see?
Yeah.
And as you always say, that I'm more careful with.
Yes,
What?
I always think that you someday gonna run for presidency. That's why you are a little bit more aware of what you say.
Bro, some of these things can come and bite you back, after a few years. Maybe my opinion is going to change. That's the other thing. Or maybe the opinion I had then, or still do, is the one that's going to be the deal cutter. Maybe I'm going to say, okay, I used to advocate maybe for gay rights, human rights, or something like this, Then, people change.
Yes.
And maybe you're going to get a deal and they're like, bro, you used to say this. We're not going to work with you. This is going to bite our corporate or our deal. So no. And then you lose your deal. So now what I've learned, you know me, off camera, I don't have a filter.
Yeah.
But on camera, thanks to my girlfriend for consulting me,
The advocate.
for consulting me about having a filter, being careful of the topics, being, censorship,
Yeah.
Because it is important at the end of the day, whether you like it or you're not. In my opinion, or in my own right mind, I don't give a fuck about what people think about me or what I say.
I mean, just like your girlfriend, my wife tells me, I think you should skip a lot of conversations, skip a lot of topics when it comes to the podcast. And I'm like, if I'm going to skip this and this and that, why the hell do I have a podcast? So I'm here to share an opinion. As I said earlier, I'm entitled to opinion. If you agree to it, thank you so much. If you don't agree to it, also thank you
It's
so
not
much.
that
I'm not
afraid-
expecting the whole world to agree to what I said. Like, who
I'm
the fuck
not
am I?
afraid to, being cancelled before.
It's not
we
being
even
afraid.
start.
It's being, I would say, aware. Not aware. What is the word? Being cautious.
Yeah,
Yeah.
being cautious,
I don't give a shit.
and bringing the concept of this podcast, Diverse Brew,
It is diversity. Diverse, not just when it comes to the skin color, of course. Diverse when it comes to your opinion. When it comes to
your beliefs, your religion,
beliefs,
everything,
religions, and everything. Yeah.
So we try and talk about these issues in a more appropriate way, in a
There
more
was-
filtered way, So
Like I shared one video the other day, and one beach.
sensitivity, sensitivity.
One
bro.
beach wrote a comment and she said, I think podcast tools are a little bit too accessible. And I'm like, who the fuck are you, bitch, to say that? Because I can share whatever I want to share. It is something I would like to do. I'm going to say whatever I would like to say. You would like to say whatever you'd like to say.
Off camera.
Off camera, on camera.
Meet me. Sorry.
Just because she didn't agree to my opinion regarding gender equality, to be honest. And I'm like, okay, convince me that I'm right. Don't just say tools are too accessible.
Yeah,
Say where I'm wrong.
Talking about that, I think that most people, they come in with this is a big factor to sensitivity as well. Constructive criticism and destructive criticism.
Yes.
I've seen sometimes you take constructive
Yes.
in a very serious way. For example, when you
Exactly.
were doing your social media and how it became to be, if you don't mind, you can share the story.
Yeah, I mean, okay, aside from the story, how many times you told me you're wrong? And maybe at first I didn't take it very well, but then later on, having a different conversation with you, I would come back to you and tell you, man, by the way, you were right on that day when you said that thing. Because after all, we are friends. So when you say something, I know what you say. But as I said again, for example, shout out Silas. When I first met the guy, he came to me and he told me, show me your portfolio, show me your work. And it was something I built like
From scratch.
From scratch along the years, not just months. Or the next day he came to me so easily and he was like, bro, everything you're doing is just wrong. And inside of me, I was like, who the fuck are you to tell me everything is wrong? But then again, I'm like, look, this guy is a professional. This is his field.
Yeah.
So let me hear what he's saying. And thanks to Silas right now, a lot of things got fixed. In my work life, somehow it affected my personal life. So thank you so much. But there is another person, a friend of mine, his name is Omar. Fuck you, Omar.
Bro, stop.
I
dropping
like you,
names.
I love you, but fuck you for this. Omar comes and he tells you, you know what? This table doesn't fit in this office. And he knows you cannot just throw the table outside the office. So he's like, it doesn't fit.
So
And
he's just criticizing with no solution.
exactly.
So you
It is
consider
destructive.
that destructive.
It is destructive. And he comes and tells you, I could have bought this for cheaper price. I could have done it for less price.
So why
I'm like,
didn't you
it's
help
too
him?
late, bro. Where were you before me doing it? So if you feel like your opinion is just going to hurt me, not going to help me, then keep it to
Some
yourself.
of it is just hate.
Exactly.
You see?
Exactly. Like, as I said, I love you, Omar, but fuck you for this. So,
Yeah.
and this is where I would say empathy comes in place.
Okay.
And as you said, constructive criticism. There is a guy on Instagram the other day I was talking to you about. He puts it in an amazing way. The guy doesn't have a filter. He's just honest. He gives it to you, but in a professional way.
Professional way.
He was
in a
saying
more-
a story the other day about a friend of his. She was in a play.
Okay.
And right after the play, she came to him and she was like, what do you think? In his opinion, it was bad, really bad. So what he said, you did your best. So he didn't ruin the moment for her. He was like, you did your best. And he didn't lie. She
Yeah.
did her best. After a couple of days, he came to her. They took a seat in a calm atmosphere. The excitement, the enthusiasm is gone.
Is gone, exactly.
And he
yeah.
told her, look, it was really bad. Since you asked me about my opinion, I think this and this and that was wrong and everything. She took it with open heart, and he didn't have to lie to her. So that's where somehow the way you
You say-
express your opinion and you say your advice plays a big part.
Yes, it's a very good way. Sometimes the way you say it, to whom you're saying it, It's important, you know.
Exactly.
You need to be intelligent for you to be
Have a smooth way.
have it in a smooth way, you know. You might hurt someone, but the person later on might realize that, you know what, this guy was saying the truth. I have to work, as you've given two different scenarios,
Yeah,
from constructive and destructive.
exactly.
It's not always that constructive builds you. Even sometimes destructive even builds you. It
Yes.
makes you take a step back and say, okay, this is actually true. How can I work on it? Yes, it is what it is. I can't do it. For example, maybe she wasn't a good actor or something.
No.
But now it gives her more motivation to try and be better than she was, you know? So someone might come and say to that same person, "Oh, you're a very bad actor. I don't want you on my set." Or they don't even discuss with that person.
They just cancel them
Yeah, they just
silently.
yeah, you know, as I said, so it's up to how you say it or how you criticize or how you lay it out, you know.
Yeah. And then again, also, as you said it, the other party should put their pride and they should put everything aside. They should accept, not be in
Accept,
denial.
yeah. Because from these criticisms, there's two outcomes.
Yeah.
It's either you're gonna concede, like you're gonna accept and say, okay, it's this, or you're gonna try and protect your ego.
Exactly.
And say, no, this can't be me. And you doing that, in some instances, you might even become worse and worse and worse.
Yes.
For example, if you'd say to Silas, I'm better than you, I built this by myself, you'll still be in level 1.
Exactly.
You wouldn't have grown, you know.
Exactly.
So sometimes criticism is a result of growth.
And sensitivity stops you from growth.
Yeah. Before coming to this again, the young generation, the upcoming generation, before,
I feel bad for them.
yeah, before we used to value our cultures, you used to value your religion, you know, you need to value your friendships,
Yeah.
you see, because you were only connected to your friends because
We had close
yeah,
communities.
because close communities, same region, same neighborhood,
Exactly.
you know. Yes, they would fight, you know. You go to school with the kids, no internet at that time, you know.
Yeah.
No much internet, only text messaging, but it's still the same people. But now, since most kids have, from all the corners of the world, they have access to internet,
Yeah.
you know. So now everyone is like a robot because they know any slight mistake they'll be cancelled by the internet. So
Exactly.
it's like robots now. It's not like before where you and your friends would fist fight,
Yeah.
you know, because you want to express your opinion. He also wants to express his opinion. At the end of the day, it will be settled somehow.
Exactly.
But now someone has to concede because what will the internet say? What will my friends say?
Now
So
you
it's-
can be taken to the police just because of writing fuck you to someone on the comment section.
Yeah.
As simple as that. I'm like, bro, we used to like bleed each other. And after 5 minutes, we're playing back again and everything. But now, I mean, look, that's why I said I feel bad for this generation because I don't know if is it us? Is it the generation before us causing this? We are building a generation that is going to be silent the whole time. And when they talk, it's going to be something just useless, unbeneficial. Because, I mean, give next generation a dictator for president. They can't do a shit because they be afraid of expressing their opinion towards that person. So they'll be like, now if I express my opinion to this president, I'll be cancelled, or I will have this, I will have that.
Not only that, there are even some big corporations that have
Yes.
closed down because they
Exactly.
had the wrong opinion or they were against what was going on. So, you know, this is a very sensitive issue.
I mean, for example, me, myself, I'm not heterosexual, but be gay far away from me. I can treat you as a person. I respect you as a person. Okay. I'm not going to respect you less if you're gay. But once
Why
you
are you
act gay, once you start acting gay right in front of me, pulling the gay card in front of me, I'd be like, this is not going to give you any pass in front of me. As a matter of fact, I'd be like, bro, fuck out of here. You see? So this show might be cancelled just because of this opinion. Do I care? I don't. Do you care? Have you ever felt sensitive, not were afraid of being, I don't know, open? Just felt sensitive to some opinions?
Bro, I'll pass this. Let's move on to the
Me, myself?
let's move on to the next, you know,
Me, myself?
segment.
I kind of feel sensitive towards few topics, but doesn't mean I don't talk to them. Like, for example, Stefan. Fuck you, Stefan. He,
Bro, can you please stop calling out people?
I don't,
You know,
I
stop
love
calling
calling
people
out
out, you know?
people. Stefan makes a lot of jokes against Islam religion.
Not
I know.
only- Okay, I'm not going to be a part of this. Continue.
Yeah, I know Stefan doesn't mean harm, but that's how he functions. This is how his sense of humor. He's racist, anti-religions, and everything, and at the same time, he's like one of the most educated guys that I know. So somehow it comes close to being like a little bit harsh, and I would be sensitive. But then I'm like, this is Stefan. So yeah. Other than that. So as you said earlier, it is the fine line between constructive and destructive.
Yeah, as we said, last topic we were trying to talk about striking balance, you know, from our previous episode.
True, it fits.
Yeah, so now you also have to try in this sensitivity, you know, you have to be emotionally intelligent to read between the lines to say, okay, now I'm taking this too far. Or, okay, now this person is gonna, you know for a fact that this guy is gay, for example. Then you continue to try and rub it in their face or something. You know, you need to be self-aware. You need to be able to communicate. That doesn't mean you've changed your opinion about this topic, but you just have to be considerate, you know, of everyone. You know, if the world was only like Abdulrahman thinks like this, so everyone has to do this, you know, then what kind of world would we use? So sensitivity, in a way, it protects the people that are being attacked. It protects what our kids are going to watch. Imagine your 3-year-old son watching inappropriate videos. Imagine the language on the internet. You know, you might shelter them physically.
Yeah.
You see, you might take away their laptop, but you don't know who they interact with at school.
Of course.
You see?
Of course.
So, in a way, sensitivity as well, yes, it's a good thing, if you ask me, you know. But there are some topics that they just have to be left as they are, you know. You as a human being, you have to strike that balance, you know.
Yes, but as I said, not by being overly sensitive. I mean, look.
What is your gauge to say, okay, now I'm oversensitive or now I'm less sensitive?
There is no gauge. Just
Exactly.
there is logic.
That's what
just
I'm
put the
trying.
logic
That's
in
what I'm
place.
trying to say.
Yeah.
You see. So
Now, like, we're living in a world where I look at my son sometimes and I'm like, what should I do with you? I always tell my wife, I'm gonna try to raise a very mean ass kid who gives it to everyone. He doesn't have filter, and he just tell someone, fuck you right in the face. But then I ask myself, is this the right thing to do? Am I gonna cause a lot of difficulties for my son, me doing this? I don't want him to have filters here and there and be silent all the time. But then again, I want his benefit comes first. And this is something hard, like a lot of contradictions, a lot of limits, a lot of everything.
in this world that you are in, my friend, now you just have to pray to God that your son becomes,
A man stays a man.
you see.
Oh, like as simple as that.
Bro, why you interrupt? This guy is so disruptive.
I can't.
Bro, I'm trying to bring another point and you're out here trying to disrupt. This is my point. I brought it up. Just listen.
Go ahead. Tell me your point.
You see? I'm just saying you just have to pray to God to say, okay, I hope my son, you know, because now if you try and, you know, control them, try and dictate something, the more they rebel you, the more they
Yes.
dislike you, you
Of
know,
course.
the more the relationships get strained, and
Of course.
because now there's a lot of influence. Unlike before, we used to be beaten by our parents.
Yeah.
They'll beat you until you believe.
Yeah, the beliefs inside of you.
Until you believe in that thing, you know.
Yeah.
But now you can't do that.
Yeah.
You see? Now they will be raised by the internet.
The child services comes and takes your son just because of slapping him. It happens a lot in Europe, in UK, and everything.
Yeah.
And
Even
I'm
now, I've seen also in Africa, it has started. When we were growing up in school, we used to be beaten up. But now they'll go and complain, they beat me, they beat
And
me.
kids kids growing up to sue their parents. You slapped me back in 1998. I'm like, the fuck?
My mom will go to the teachers opening day. Hi, I'm Ives' mother. Please beat him up.
Yes. Whenever you have the chance, just take a swing.
You see, because she was a teacher also, so she's a teacher also, so she knows how kids behave, you know.
Exactly.
And I'll be like, why does she have to, you know? So yeah, so give and takes for these topics.
Gives and takes. For me, I have this. I like my friends when they see a dry snot down my nose, they tell me, bro, you have dry snot. Not let me live through the day and find out that I have dry snot the whole day on my face by the end of the day. You know?
Unless a stranger that comes and tells. That's more embarrassing, man, you know?
Yes, exactly. A stranger
Sometimes the girls are...
I would like my friends to tell me that, for a stranger not to come and tell me that.
For example, I would see like maybe something dry on the girls I work with.
Yeah.
And then I would just go there and I try and remove it and they become shy. I'm like...
That's sexual harassment, bro.
I'm like, is it better... Is
to
it
tell
better
you
for me to for someone else to tell you? Me, I'm like your brother. I'm like your friend. I know.
Senpai.
Yeah. So don't be shy. Even if you see it, just tell me or let me clean myself. And for someone, I really get pissed off if someone tells me and you're there. I really get like, okay, so you let me be to embarrass those whole establishment.
Exactly.
Because you just couldn't tell me about this,
exactly.
You know?
Like sometimes it happened once, a couple times actually. I would share some of the personal things that I have at home. Like this and this happened with me and like, let's say my family, my wife or something. And you would tell me, bro, you're wrong. And I'm like, inside of me, I'm like, I'm telling you for you to somehow show me some support. And you tell me, no, you're wrong. I'm like, okay, well, he doesn't have anything. Like you don't benefit from anything. So when you tell me you're wrong, you tell me for my own benefit. So thank you for that. Maybe I was expecting support and I didn't get it. I'm going to be a little bit more sensitive, but then thank you. I need people like this in my life.
You know, not everything deserves or a reply or reaction.
Yeah.
You know, there are some sensitive topics. It's better you just stay out of them.
Let them slide.
You know, you win. It looks like you've lost, but you've won actually.
Yeah.
By not dragging yourself into that dirt, you know, but just taking a step back. This is being more mature, you know. Mm-hmm. You're like, okay, cool. And it will hurt the other party because like, this was meant to hurt them. This was meant to make them sad. This was meant to scar them. But if you just walk away like that, the person's like, oh, wow, okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
So not all battles have to be won, you know.
Yeah. We have a saying in Arabic, running away is 2/3 of the bravery. Sometimes when you run away from whatever issue it is, you're being brave that you run away. It makes sense sometimes. So
guys, thank you.
This is my opinion. For me, if I offended anyone today, I don't really care. Shove it. If Ives offended someone today, on behalf of Ives, I'm not really sorry. So okay. I'm gonna come to Zimbabwe when you become the president. Would you allow me?
Who said I'm gonna be president?
I feel like you are going in that direction.
You feel I'm going to that direction?
Yeah.
That's a sensitive thing to talk about, especially in my country that's not politically stable, you know? We don't talk about such thoughts.
Seriously?
Yes.
Cool. Now that the previous president fled the country, I'm like, should I run for presidency?
With your opinions?
With my opinion, the country is going to be in chaos, bro.
No.
I'll be like
cancelled on the very first day. The first you open your mouth.
Because first thing in the constitution would be like, give everyone a bag of coffee with salaries.
No, I know what your first policy is going to be. And that's going to be sensitive
what is it?
As well.
Burn all the people. No. There is like one category of people I'm going to burn. No, I'm joking. I'm not going to burn anyone. Just I'll give people coffee here and there. And
coffee?
Stuff. Yeah.
Do you guys have coffee in Syria?
Bro, yeah.
I've never seen any Syrian beans though.
Oh, we don't grow coffee, of course, but the coffee.
Of course, if
Culture.
if I say you've got coffee, I'm not saying do you have coffee.
No,
I'm
no, no.
asking if you grow coffee.
No, we don't.
You don't grow
we
coffee.
grow cherries.
But your region is good, I think. I just think there's not someone who's like taken a step to
Yes,
grow.
because
Yeah.
the previous...
It has potential, actually.
Bro, we
Yes.
say the country has red soil. Whatever you plant grows.
No, that's good.
I'm not really sure if coffee is part of it. No one has tried.
So should I congratulate your company, your country for being free? Or
Yes, please. Thank you so much. A lot of sacrifices happened, and I'm so happy that...
congratulations to all Syrian guys out there.
Yeah.
Best of luck in the future.
Thank you so
we've
much.
got a running
We need
candidate.
that. we need that. We need luck. We need blessing. We need everything. Because now it is gonna be really hard.
And it's a critical time now.
Gonna be really hard. Everyone's gonna have their hands and feet.
So when are you going back to Syria?
I don't think I'm gonna go back.
Okay, cool.
I swore not to go back. They are left. So
That's cool. So guys, you now know where he's from, yeah? So that's cool.
this is it for today. And yeah. Anything you would like to say before closing?
bro.
I apologize on your behalf.
No,
I did
bro.
not actually.
I kept my filter on.
Kept
and
your filter on?
Yeah, I'll leave it that way. But meet me after the podcast.
Cash me outside. How about that?
Yeah.
Bahtiyar, would you like to share anything? No? Thank you.
Did you like the topic?
Guys, why do you leave me like high and dry, just sharing my crazy opinions? But you're like, you know what? I'll
We have to throw someone under the bus.
and that's me.
Someone has to be responsible, you know? Yeah. You have to take one for the team.
I'm taking many for the team. I took one for the team yesterday.